So at this point, you've learned how to manage and embed assets and also how to create them. And now let's look at managing media types. So if we go to structure, you should see a link here called media types. And if you click on that, you can see all of the available media types, which come with the standard Drupal installation. Now, in typical Drupal fashion, you can of course create as many custom media types as you want. And what I want to do now is show you how to create a custom media type, which will allow you to embed Instagram posts. Now, to create a new media type, you simply click on Add Media Type, and then you enter in the name of your media type, which can be whatever you want, but I'll just add in Instagram. You can add in a description. But then you need to select a media source because the media source tells Drupal how to handle a particular file. So here you can see that Drupal comes with 5 media sources: file, audio file, video file, remote video, and image. So the image media source handles the resizing and also the creation of the thumbnail. But from the field mapping section, you can actually store some of the metadata which comes out of the image media source and store it in a custom field. So if you wanted to, you could store the width and height in a custom field on the media entity. And this is a very powerful feature of the media source because if we were to say select remote video, you will see way more options here, okay? You can actually store the URL of the provider, the thumbnail height, the thumbnail width, the width and height of the resource. I'm not really sure what that is, but you can see that the remote video provider offers a lot of metadata. But for us to handle Instagram posts, we need to download an extra module, which will then give us an option to select Instagram from here. So jump into Google and search for Drupal Media Entity, and then simply click on Media Entity. Now, I should mention, because this might confuse a few people, the media module that we have in core actually started life as the Media Entity module, and this is going back a couple of years. So if we scroll down, you can see all of these media providers. So if you want to handle, say, Google Docs, Flickr, SoundCloud, Spotify, Twitter, Instagram, and so on and so forth, simply download one of these media providers. Now, in our case, we will click on Instagram, and then here you can see 2 versions of the module. Now, take note of this, okay? So, if you are working on a very old Drupal 8 site, chances are you installed the Media Entity module, then you would need to use version 1 of the module. But if you are using the media module in Drupal core, make sure you download version 2. So in our case, we're going to simply download version 2. And luckily for us, Composer can handle that for us. So let's go ahead and download Media Entity Instagram. So let me open up my terminal. So what I'll do now is type in Composer require Drupal /media entity Instagram. So if we scroll up, we should see which version was downloaded. Perfect. Okay, version 2. Okay. So now let's go back to our site so we can close these tabs. And let me open up Extend in a new tab. And if I search for media, I can see Media Entity Instagram. And let's just install it. And then let's go back to our media type and refresh the page. And we should see Instagram as a media source. Perfect. So select that. And then let's just type in Instagram as the name. And then I'll add in a description of used for posting Instagram posts. There we go. And then from the field with source information, leave it as create, because the media type needs to know where the source information will be stored. And in this case, the source information is the Instagram URL. So leave this set to create and then just leave the field mapping as it is. Scroll down to the bottom and click on save. And then let's go back into our Instagram media type. And then if we go to manage form display, let's just disable the name field. And then click on save. Okay, so now let's go to content and then media, and then click on add media, and then click on Instagram. And now all we need to do is paste in an Instagram URL, and the media type will go to Instagram, grab a thumbnail of it, save it locally, and then store it as a media asset. So now what we can do is if we go to our test article, and let's just open this stuff up, remove that one. Let's also remove that video, and let's just simply embed our Instagram post. Okay, now we do need to make one more change, okay? Here you can see that it's simply showing us the URL. Now that's not very useful. It's not embedding the Instagram post in there, because even if we save it and then view our test article, you can just see the URL, not that useful. Now let's go back to structure and then media types. And then if we go to Instagram and then click on manage display, here we can configure the formatters. And then from the format dropdown, make sure you select Instagram embed and then just click on save. And then if we refresh, we can see our embedded Instagram post.